Alrighty, back to the Soviet Union once again. The goal here is just to get down to the southern front. Hopefully we can get through the whole thing, but it is very late here, so I'm not sure how much energy I'll have. The first thing to sort out is this mess right here of this airborne core and some broken parts of the 17th motorized, which I think is still in the pocket probably. Is it? Oh no, they're out. Well, that's good news. Okay, we can send them up there then. So, 17th motorized core is where this guy's going to be heading up to. He only has a few movement points, so he ain't going to get too far, but at least we can get him on the move. And then there's airborne brigades. I don't know what the hell even do these. I guess we stick them on the backside of the river here. I don't know. At least there's some artillery here. And there's a lot of planes there. So let's just stack up on that. I mean, it's better than nothing. This airborne guy can go maybe on this side. We'll stick him on reserve. Maybe he'll get committed. And we'll even stick the corps commander. Did we end up making this depot last time? We did not. But I think, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Oh, that's a little bit too far. Damn. Oh, we'll just stick him right here and maybe he'll hold out. Where's the mechanized corps? That one can't move any further, so let's just try to get him in range, I guess. Just so he can get some supply next turn. Because he's not going to be fighting anytime soon anyways. I'm not even going to bother putting him on refit. I don't know. Yeah, he's got 45 for his DOE. I mean, basically this is barely a motorized division at this point. He just has such a low amount of equipment. He's just combat ineffective. I will stick him on refit just because it would be nice to get him back at some point. Let's see what I can send forward here because the guys are all fresh. Maybe I can rail someone forward. Just to get him on the line. And then we'll start setting up a second line of defense as well. Because this is some really good terrain defensively, so I would love to be able to hold it. I would really love to be able to hold the first river line, but I just don't think that can possibly happen here. So you got to take what you can get, I think, in this case. It's a pretty dangerous spot to put him, but it's also the best spot. What else does the 21st Army have under it? Got this rifle corps. Maybe we could stick them up there. I mean, they're not very good, but we can at least march them up there. Now, I've been doing this a lot. I've been like double and triple stacking my headquarters on depots on cities. I don't know if that's the best way to play it. I don't know if that's working better. So I still don't fully understand the supply system. It was just like when I was doing the tutorials and playing around with it, it felt better. I mean, and it tickles that part of my OCD that would think, oh, these generals would probably want to talk to each other and be in direct contact, because who knows if their radios are working effectively. Oh, Jesus. I almost clicked the end turn button. That would have been an oopsie. Okay. What else is here? Oh, that's the airborne brigades. Right. Where do I eventually want the Western Air Command? I want him further north, I think. Like up near Smolensk. Maybe I'll put him up with the 19th Army. I don't know. Size 2. I'm looking at the airbase sizes right here. They're both size 2. Undamaged, though, so that's good. Well, let's send them up here. Not sure how that'll work, but... Oh, it did not work well. God damn it. Oh well. He's got to move. So that was the only choice I had. I had to move him. I can't just leave him right in front of a tank division. Especially because I can't move back any of those other guys. Oh man, this area here is just an absolute wasteland. There's nothing. And like these guys aren't even activated yet. These rifle divisions are, at least. Just not sure where I want them. Because there's nothing really else behind this. I mean, we got some guys at Kharkov, I guess. Are any of these activated? Yeah, I guess they are. So I could send the 18th Army up. Such as it is, there's not a lot to it. These are not activated. I don't know. I would just love to be able to get something up to this river line here. That would be amazing. I just don't think I can. Because even if I rail these guys up, and I guess I could get them here, but I can't even take them off the rail. So what's the point? Like you might as well just march these guys as far forward as you can get them and just start moving them up. I mean, that's kind of the only option, I think. Because they're going to need at least another core up here. They actually say that they're ready, so despite the fact that they're tremendously under strength. Ready for what? I don't know. Ready to die, I guess. I don't know. See, so if we go up here, are we in range of everyone? Not quite. We'll just give you this airborne brigade as your like bodyguard unit. Gonna just start retreating these guys south. I think I might give them to the southern front. I'm not sure. Although the southern front has a lot of guys. But I'm thinking of transferring up this 31st Rifle Corps, which has a few combat effective units. Might transfer them up to this group here and have them kind of hold the Pripyat marshes. Because like if I stick him on the river line up here, he might actually do a little bit of good. Then the question is just, can I get any supply into here? And the answer is probably no. But I'd almost rather have something, even if it's not something good. I mean, I would really love to get this guy farther back. But frankly, he's just lucky he didn't get trapped in the pocket. I'm just trying to set up a little bit of something. Maybe a little bit of surprise. Oh, no. Didn't need to do that. And they can't get back, of course. Nice. Okay, well, we'll just move them forward. And then we'll move the rifle division forward. And they both move. Okay, so now rifle corps, can that move back? Yes. Hey, finally did it. $319 men. Jesus Christ. Poor bastards. Slap down a depot there. Just trying to remember the depot button. Logistics. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Okay, so we do have a depot here. It's set to low priority. Oh, we have a depot here. We'll turn that depot off. I forget, can you... Disband depot, yes. Disband this depot. So the Fifth Army is going to move, I think, back to here. This is going to become a 4 because this is now the front line. Let's just get that rifle corps back. I know that he's got guys in the pocket. Do they have any leadership in this pocket? No. Let's try to just quickly break them out and see if they can go anywhere. I don't think they'll be able to, so. Honestly. See what happens. Hey, our first victory of the campaign. Write that down. The Battle of Chelm. Victorious. Give that to the propaganda boys. If that ain't a win, I don't know what is. That's a great victory. Or at least it is when you got your ass beat for the last 500 miles. Well, maybe we can bait them into just trying to fight us now that they don't have that cleanup crew for our little pocket here. Well, maybe we can just kind of convince them that we're actually a threat. Imagine. Yeah, so at least we're throwing bullets their way. They're like, oh, Jesus, these Soviets, they actually fight. I really would prefer to get these tank divisions off the front line, but this whole group here is just a motorized corps. Mechanized corps, I should say. And they have already taken the brunt of this assault, and I'm just afraid to have them in any more combat. They're just going to get completely destroyed. Like, there's not much left to this guy, and he's the better off of the two. It concerns me a little bit. I mean, sometimes you just got to kind of cut your losses and run. I think the security division, maybe we move up. We'll move him to where he was. Wonder if he'll be in command there. No. But these guys can at least be put on reserve. They got enough strength that they can fight a little bit. What I really want is just a decently strong rifle corps to kind of go in front here. The problem is I don't have a decently strong rifle corps. If I hop you up here, at least we can put him on reserve. Maybe he'll get committed. What's under 22nd motorized? What's under this? Oh, okay, the 3 frontliners. I would love to just stick these guys up in front. Problem is this salient here is a little scary looking. Like ideally we would counterattack this if we had a real army. If we weren't the Soviets circa June 1941. If this was 1944, we would be slapping the shit out of this salient here and trying to beat them back. But that's unrealistic. These are all strong panzer divisions. So what we want to do is try to move down infantry here and support them with that other tank group. And then because we know that these guys, now that we scouted them, we know that these guys are going to be slow, and this is just a security division. We know that this is just an infantry division, and these are just cavalry divisions. So they'll move a little bit slower than the tanks and the legitimate mechanized divisions. So these guys are actually the bigger threat right here. This organization. And we know that they're going to have to go through us. So 16th Panzer. And then these are actually a split up. These are not full divisions. So it's possible. I don't know if they put them on reserve or not. It is possible to hold it out here with just sticking a rifle corps in their way, I think. I don't know. Maybe that's crazy, but I want to believe that that's possible. So 37 Rifle Corps. He's got full corps. Let's just try to block him off with this corps. And we'll make sure that you get some stuff. Give you some howitzers. Even give you a corps level artillery. Where is his corps level? He goes back to the 24th Mechanized, which is on this depot here. So that's actually a really good spot for him to be used as a reserve. If we give this guy to that rifle corps and stack him up it'll at least strengthen that. I mean, I know we're going to be incurring some of these penalties here, but what is that? That was the 36th, right? 37th. So we're going to give him to the 37th. So now 37th Rifle Corps has 7 of 9 with 3 full infantry divisions, a security division, and a bunch of artillery. I'm almost tempted to give him a touch of anti-air as well. You know what? Why not? Give him some anti-air. And let's lock him just in case. Just so we don't forget about it later. That we want him locked. Okay, now the rest of these guys, we really don't want these tanks on the front line if we can pull them back. Where's his corps? I mean, I would love to pull him back to closer to the depot. Maybe to where this corps is sitting. I'm going to move these infantry first. Just because these are both unready. And we're basically going to try to get these guys off the line. If we can. We'll stick them both on refit because they're very under strength. And then this rifle can be on the front line here. Stick you on the rail line. So maybe that'll get him some supply. Maybe. Stick you back here and put him on reserve. And hope to God that he doesn't have to fight. And do the same basic thing with this guy. Stick him in reserve and hope he doesn't have to fight. Fourth mode, mechanized corps. Where is that? Oh, that's further south. I think we're going to reassign him. Going to reassign him to something up here. I don't really know what's nearby. Even if we have to give him to an infantry corps. Oh, he's just in range of that, I think. Oh, just out of range of that. Okay, well that's actually okay, because if we move him up onto the rail line here, then we're in range of everything. He should be pretty safe. Does he go back to 24? Put him on reserve. That's a pretty strong little front there. I don't think anything's gonna get through that all the way. Like maybe, but it's a pretty strong little setup. What's weak is this area here. There's nothing. We got to bring units up from Kiev to be able to have anything there. So these infantry and cavalry can walk pretty much as far as their little legs can take them. But what I'm hoping is that they turn around and smash these guys to bits. It might not happen that way, but they might be pissed that some of their buddies got killed. They might turn around and try to fight them. That's my greatest hope here. So that's what we're playing for. And I think we'll finish this out by just moving up some of our Kiev troops. I think we have... Okay, so the southwestern front is there. But do we have a corps? Where's the 49th Rifles? Right here. Oh, they're spread out. God. Jesus. Alright, well, start marching them forward. So that's still in range. That's still in range. That's still in range. Still in range. Out of range. Okay, so that's as far as we can get him. Can move him up to his max range. And the 197th we can move up to here, I think. Maybe one further than that. Go one further? No. Okay, that's fine. A little extra marching. We'll reassign this anti-tank brigade. Okay, so this is a multi-role. We're eventually going to swap this over to being a support unit. So we're not even going to bother with him. Okay, so those guys got up as far as they can go. We got this airborne company. Airborne Corps, rather. 1st Airborne Corps. So this rail line is really overstressed here. But I almost want to let them just kind of walk up into us and not do too much around here. Because what I see is I see a bunch of infantry on the front lines here with some cavalry brigades. I think these are just brigades. Oh, no. Yeah, they're just split up divisions. So each one of these is like a brigade. So that's not that scary. It's a third of a division. I think a rifle corps could take that, even if they get surrounded. So theoretically, if these guys come marching up this road and they're met by a rifle corps, that would probably stop them, even if it's a weak rifle corps. So if I can just get something of that strength up to that area, I think it would do the job. So that's what I'm going to try to do. It's just frustrating that you don't have enough movement points to really get there. They're just not. I wonder if I motorized one of these. May not motorize units in 1941. I've never even tried to click that button before, so I didn't know that happened. I just killed for one division that can do something. Come on, let me set it to 4. Please. Oh my god. You know what? Never mind. You're a 3. That's all you deserve. I just have a feeling these things are all screwed up. We're going to give this guy to the 36 rifles. Because we're going to trade this guy over to the Airborne Corps. And maybe the lack of intelligence will allow us to convince them that we have real units here. Maybe they'll waste time killing this guy. Who knows? That's what I'm hoping for. Let's finish this off. Try to get these guys out of this pocket here. Just a little security division. Just trying to move some of these guys back. just to get him off the line. Because we don't want him fighting 2 turns in a row. This guy, however, can be on the line. He's a mountain division. So he might do a little bit better. This horribly understrength tank division can kind of back him up. Actually, we'll send the horribly understrength tank division up. Up here. Maybe even a little bit further up. Just because then we can put his motorized corps on the depot. And then we can stick this tank division here. Which will really force him to have to go around. I think that'll be good. Sixth Army can retreat a little bit. This mountain division. We just kind of want him to hold the line here, so not huge expectations. Where do these guys go up to? 13th Rifles. Okay, so we'll move 13 Rifles over to the depot. Means we got to shift everyone over a spot. Pull this guy back a little bit. Give him to the 13th Rifles. And stick him on reserve. 6th Rifles, your boys are caught in the pocket. So let's try to break them out. Ooh, that's a motorized division and an infantry division. Ooh. That's not good. Well, at least we're a pain in the ass. Sometimes that's all you can be. Didn't mean to go up to the front. Who is under 8th Rifles? Just that one unit. And, oh, this guy too. Well, we'll just reassign you to someone else. Just trying to move them back to where their buddies are. I'd love to get a little intel on what this is over here. So maybe I'll use that guy as kind of the canary in the coal mine. That's perfect. It's just in range of him. 17th Rifles. Honestly, this stuff, I'm not even sure I want to change. Like, other than this guy. But to be honest, the only reason I want to change him is because he's low on supply. So it's not even that I really need to change him, it's that I want to change him. It's not like I really need to. All right. Well, I would say that's the line sorted as best as I can. It ain't ever going to be perfect. All right, so I promise only one more video and then I'll turn the turn. Actually, next video we're going to turn the turn. All I need to do is to go back through and look at all my support. Make sure that the depots are relatively squared away. The only one I might consider is another depot here. I think we need a depot up here somewhere on this HQ potentially. Just because there's nothing for miles and miles and miles. So these guys are going to be low supply if they don't get a depot. So we'll just slap one down there. And then we go through and look at all the numbers. So these should all be ones. This is a 3, but there's a lot of units near it, I think. And then these are 4s, 4s. It's a 3, but it's further back. 4, 3, but again, it's a little bit further back. Although maybe this should be a 4. That's a 3. Maybe we need a depot here. Kind of scared to put a depot there if they're just going to get blasted by this tank division, though. Yeah, maybe I won't even bother. Wait till they get pushed back a little bit further. Honestly, when they get pushed back, they're going to be closer to the depot anyways. So, who cares? This depot, I don't love this location, but it was the best place, and they need something here. What the hell was I doing with this guy? I think it's just as far as I could get him and still be in supply, but it's not. He only has one guy that's out of the pocket even assigned to him. But luckily right here is an infantry division. Oh wait, no, that's a motorized division. Holy shit. Ooh, mech division. That actually could kind of fuck up our plans. Ooh. Okay, well, this division's going to run absolutely wild on these guys. So we just got to hope the terrain slows them down more than anything. Because the terrain is our best friend here. This is a big swamp. And then I think all the rest of these depots are pretty good. This one I was fighting with to make it a 4. And there it is. We got it to be a 4. And we want this one to be a 4 as well. Okay, so now we have all of our front lines 4s. 4, 4, 4. 3. But we don't really have, like, ideally we would have a depot here. But we have no troops there to speak of. So this is fine as it is. But maybe it's worth putting it up to a 4. Because it is basically the front line. And same with Mogilev. We'll put it up to a 4. Just so everything on the front line is a 4. Then going further back, everything is 3 or lower. Which is basically what we want. And then these ports. They're set to be a 1 and a 1. But really we want them to be 4s. If we can get sea supply in, that might make the pocket last a little bit longer. That way they're import ports. No. So these are both import ports. I think the blue means import. Where's Leningrad set to? Okay, so I got the supply sorted. Then the last thing we would want to do is go through and do the support units. And then we just want to spend the rest of our administrative points. We have 15 left after doing the depots. So that means we spent 5 on depots. The last thing we want to do with these administrative points is build units. As the Soviet Union, you get to build units. So we're going to build stuff that we need, that we badly need. And what we badly need is rifles. We need a lot of these guys because we just need troops to throw at them. just to slow them down. Because we actually have a fair amount of artillery. It's just really badly spread out. So next time we're going to go through, try to get some of that artillery pushed up to Stavka, which will happen in the next logistics phase. So at the start of the next turn, suddenly that stuff will be up at Stavka. And basically what we're going to do is we'll go through, and anyone who's going to be in contact this turn, or we expect to be in contact, like they're right on the line and the enemies are going to be able to reach them. So groups like this, where they're going to have to fight this mechanized division here, or that other group where they're going to have to fight this mechanized division, or these guys down here who have this huge tank army coming towards them. We want all of them to have support equipment available to them. We want them to have their artillery. But everyone else, I would rather push it up to Stavka and then bring it back down as needed, rather than just have this weird mishmash of stuff all over the place. And then I'm not sure if this is the best possible setup for depots, but I know that essentially everything north of Mogilev is pretty solid. I feel confident for the most part about this line. And I feel pretty confident about this big blob here, the defense of Kiev. What I don't feel too hot about is the Pripyat marshes area. So this whole area here, we're going to want to bring up several rifle corps, probably 2 or 3 corps. And the reason I want them to be rifles is because this is terrible country for motorized and tanks. So there's no point even having them down here. Just get some infantry down there, dig them in, and try to hold every inch of these marshes. Make them fight us. And this is also where I'm going to concentrate my air force. I think that's my initial concept, is try to get some air power in this area where we're really weak in terms of troops, and just interdict them with the air power, just to slow them down, make it grind to a halt. And then I'll use up a little of the air power there, and then the rest of it we're going to commit towards the Battle of Smolensk when we get there. But we're going to let them push us a little bit, because this first line of defense, they're going to get killed, but we're going to bring in an entire, probably 2 armies behind that. And they're going to just take the line after that. And the idea is we just don't want to get encircled. Any way we can avoid a huge encirclement is the best. So whatever we can do to have a really strong line early on is going to make us perform better than the historical result, which was, 25 divisions or whatever get encircled at Smolensk and get wiped out. But we'll have more guys coming. So worst case scenario, we lose all of this and we just bring up another army. Because that is the ethos of the Soviet Union at this point, is we're just going to have to fill in the gaps with fresh units from Siberia. And unfortunately, that's just going to be the reality for us until 1942. So we're going to spend a year doing this, and then we'll start getting so many troops and planes and tanks that we can finally push back. But it's going to be a long road. I mean, 5 episodes, 6 episodes dedicated to the first turn is worth it, because the slowness and the painfulness of this process, I think, really shows what the meat of this game is an equipment and a commander management game. So while putting the puzzle pieces in the right spots matter, what matters even more is eventually who these commanders are and what they really do. And so as we get deeper into the game and are not spending all of our points on construction, we can start reassigning these guys. But the reason we don't do it right off the bat, as the Germans, you do want to reassign some of them right off the bat. But as the Soviets, you don't, in my opinion, because a lot of these guys will get reorganized by the game. It forces a reorganization. And a lot of these cores just disappear. And so that happens on turn 4. So we don't really want to make any major changes to the organizational structure right now. Just shuffle units around the existing structure and let the game do its thing. But once we do the support units next time and give the line one last look just to see if anything needs to be switched to reserve that should be on reserve, then we'll click turn the turn. I mean, you might as well even put these guys on reserve, right? Because theoretically, if there's a big breakthrough, they could reinforce this battle if there's a little battle here. I don't know if that actually could happen. That's a pretty long drive, but assuming the worst and this guy completely fails and they somehow have 1 million movement points, I guess it could happen maybe. I don't think that's really possible though. But yeah, that's going to be the plan. And I hope everyone enjoyed watching this, or whoever watches this. And I apologize for the length of these videos in some ways, but I think if you're the kind of person who is interested in a Gary Grigsby game, you're willing to sit down and watch hours and hours of videos just so you know what the hell is going on. Because the first time I loaded this thing up, I was overwhelmed, to say the least. And I still feel that way sometimes, but I feel like I'm starting to get a grasp of how to set up the front line and what really matters, at least for the Soviets. And hopefully next time we can go in a little bit of detail on my philosophies around what makes playing the Soviets interesting versus the Nazis. Because I get the impression, at least just from the people I've talked to who play this game, I get the impression that everyone pretty much plays the Nazis and that there's very few people who enjoy playing the Soviets. And I'm not sure why that is, but I assume it's maybe because it gets too easy at some point and that it's more fun to play the side that historically lost. It's like playing the Confederacy in a Civil War game. It's more fun to play the side that lost because you get to try different strategies and see if they would have helped. But I think the Soviets are the more interesting side, and I'll talk a little bit about it next time, but that is my overall philosophy on this game. Is I bought it to play the Soviets. I never really intended to play the full campaign as the Nazis. Maybe I will someday, but my first love in World War II, and really my still main obsession, is the Soviet Union's performance and the stuff that they did to survive. I think it's the most fascinating part of World War II. And I'm saying that as an American, and hopefully I can talk about that more as the campaign goes on and eventually connect it to today, because a lot of these places we're going to fight, Kharkov, Zaporizhia, all of these places. Let's see if they have a Bakhmut. Where the hell is Bakhmut? That would be... I don't think it's on the map, but... No, it's not. But they had battles there. So even today, the Donetsk region is fought over, and there was a huge battle of Kharkov in 2022. just as there was in 1942 and 1941 and 1943. So there was three major battles of Kharkov, and then we got a fourth in 2022. So I think that part of this game is really connects to today too, because some of these strategies really haven't changed all that much. Like, they've gotten more complicated as war has gotten more complicated, but the overall concepts are still being used today. And the Soviet doctrine hasn't changed significantly from World War II. So the strategies that I'm going to use are the same ones that the Russians on the front line today in 2023 are going to use to some extent. Their capabilities are a little bit different, but the basic concepts are still pound them with artillery and just try to roll over them. I know that's a gross oversimplification, but we'll talk more about it. Anyways, have a good night, and we'll see you next time.